Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome along to the final round of the road to the grand finals the Dutch way. That's right, it is the final round of the VCO SimGrid qualifiers from DC-SimRacing. We've had Zandvoort, we've had Imola, we've had Zolder, we've had Watkins Glen, and we've had two absolute world-class commentators. One of them being myself, of course, the other one joining me again today, one of the founding members and all-round phenomenal nice guy, and thrown right into the deep end with the admin today as well. Monster intro, it's Mr. Daniel Metz. Good afternoon, Daniel.
Hey, good afternoon, John. Yeah, it's a bit hectic, but yeah, we made some last minute changes, and yeah, good to be here anyway. And welcome to the. I think we have 6 teams now. So yeah, still 5 teams. So yeah, welcome to those heroes as well. Oh yeah, no, it is 6 teams.
It is 6 teams. I was about to say, yep, Padova has made it in the Audi. They've got 15 minutes of qualifying left, but yes, as I'm sure most of the VCO SimGrid qualifier viewers will know, their teams are chopping and changing a bit depending on they're putting their eggs into certain baskets, and if that basket does appear like it isn't going to hold the eggs, then they simply move it on someplace else. I believe is the politest way to say it. With
I love eggs.
I love eggs. Yep, can't break it and make an omelette without breaking some eggs. Up the top of the championship, just to show you how picky and choosy the teams are being. Team 1FF, who are leading the championship, have 1FF'd off. They've already won a position in the final through another competition, so they won't be taking part today, as Daniel alluded to. We have 6 brave teams who have made it out to the track. There will be a change to the advertised race. It will no longer be 4 hours that the drivers will be doing around Suzuka today. It will be 90 minutes, so we'll be back in line with the previous rounds. It did seem a bit harsh on the 6 teams that did actually turn up out the full field to then have them do a full 4 hours. Yeah, so the drivers, the organisers, have got together and decided to maintain the original format, which is the 90 minutes. So that's what we'll be doing today. The standings at the minute, as you can see, the top 10 on screen. Team 1 and FF are leading the way. RCI Esports have got both cars here today, so too Crazy Fly. Team Shizu not in attendance today, neither VDES. Race Esports are here, and Team Ballas Ukraine are as well. So 6 of the teams from the top 8 all showing up. They're looking good to get themselves a place. And in fact, my apologies, Team Drinkers Pub are here as well. Now they're 13th in the championship. There's double points for the last round, so all they need to do is get themselves to the end, and Team Drinkers Pub are going to find themselves in the grand final. So congratulations to them. Quickly doing the maths. Yes, it is. But we've had a phenomenal competition so far, Daniel, and we've got some real talent out on track. We've had Zandvoort, Imola, Zolder and Watkins Glen so far, and today it is Suzuka, which is just an incredible track.
Yeah, absolutely. Just another well, fan favorite. Absolutely one of my favorites. So yeah, this is just another. Again, this is probably the 4th or 5th time. Probably I've said it each race, but yeah, love the track selection, and yeah, I wish we would have had a viable race for 4 hours, but yeah, it is what it is, and just great to see that we could come together with the drivers, and yeah, really on the fly decide to change the format and yeah, still have a meaningful race today. But yeah, well, that's exactly the thing, a meaningful race. And you talk about the drivers, of course. What about us as commentators? We would have to do 4 hours of commentary on 6 cars, and I mean, it's always a blast to do commentary along with you, John. But 4 hours, that would be quite the thing to achieve for us. So.
Would indeed. I'm pretty sure by the time we got to that last hour, I would be digging into jokes that would be entirely inappropriate for this time of the day. Someone actually said to me on a broadcast the other night, because we had I was doing a broadcast with supposed to be 2 25-minute races, Unfortunately, the server kept resetting itself, so it was an hour and 28 minutes into the broadcast until we got race 1 done. And one of the race 1 started. One of the viewers said, "Why not tell us some Scottish jokes?" Well, because I don't want to get the channel cancelled, quite frankly. The founders have done a lot of work. They've put a lot of legwork getting the league up and running. They've got some quick drivers, and the last thing they need is. I have been described as an angry Scotsman sometimes, but an angry Scotsman telling inappropriate jokes. So no, you guys have been spared from Daniel and I flirting for 4 hours, but it will be. But it's good to see it, and I tell you, I'm absolutely ecstatic for Daniel Thielen. Not only because I keep getting his surname and your surname mixed up, Daniel, but a bit of dedication. Thielen and the Team Drinkers pub, they're going to make it to the finals. Phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And I was talking to Daniel before the race, because we were also discussing, of course, the situation with the expected number of teams. And I said to him, well, I'm really afraid. My biggest fear is that we're just going to have a handful of cars. Well, we have a bit more than a hand, but this is just silly to do this for 4 hours. But we were discussing that, and he already announced to me that they're probably going to change their name, their team name in the future to something like Always Dare Racing, because I just love the character that these guys are showing, and that's really the spirit. I think we're all doing this for fun, right? I can completely understand that the way this competition, the way it's sort of organized in. You can choose whichever competition you want. I completely get that it's difficult for an endurance team to get everyone together for each and every race. So I can completely understand. I'm not blaming them for putting their eggs in a particular basket that's not the DC-SimRacing basket. That makes sense. But it's still sad for us as organizers to see, and also for the guys that are still participating. That the field is sort of dried up, and here we are doing potentially 4 hours of hot lapping. So I think Daniel Thielen and Alex Krediet are really they're showing the correct spirit, and it's so awesome if they would be rewarded with that spot in the Visio Grand Finals, John.
Yeah, wait, I will be. Yeah, I'm going to be absolutely delighted, and I hope they keep their name at Team Drinkers Pub right through the final as well, and don't change it till afterwards. We do have some qualifying times coming in though, and the track's only rated as fast, and Makovkin at the minute is a 1 minute 58.6. Now that might seem normal to a lot of people. To myself, no, that's otherworldly pace already, so apologies if I sound overly surprised by some of these times coming in. But he's 7/10 ahead of the Team Ballast car in second. They've done a 150, they've done the sub 159.5. So quick times over the top already. RCI Esports, Martin Larenk in third at the moment. Again, just pipping his teammate Benjamin Haleman, who's going to cross the line to start another flying lap. Jeremy Badova for the Race Esports team in the Audi, looking very quick on this lap. But he is going to need to find a lot of time through that Casio triangle, and Daniel Thielen as well over a second up on his lap at the moment. So we'll see what happens with Badova coming through the Casio triangle. It is, I haven't really mentioned the track that much, of course, with going over the drivers and the layout for today's race, the roadmap for today's race. But of course it is Suzuka, 3.6 miles long. This one is 1962 it was built, and really not much in the way of change has happened over the life cycle of the course. I think it has actually lost about a tenth of a mile in its existence since 1962. A couple of the corners changed here and there, but one of the few tracks on the world that the original layout has been maintained. Certainly pre-70s tracks, a lot of them, the layouts have been massively changed over the years. But Suzuka, design it right, design it once, and that's exactly what the Japanese team that designed it did. And Honda they don't do much wrong, let's face it, and yeah, this track absolutely standing the test of time. Phenomenal track. You cannot not enjoy driving around here. Very technical,
Yeah.
even just for 130R on its own, Daniel, that sense of acceleration, man, you absolutely fly through that corner flat out. The steering wheel trying to rip your wrists, your elbows and your shoulders out the socket. It just, you feel like a race driver.
Yeah, and the fun thing about the 130R is that you can take it perfectly for 5 times, and then you confidently go in for the 6th time, and suddenly you're off. You lose it. So yeah, it's really.
This is the way.
I mean, that's just us numpties.
Yep,
I'm sure these guys. These guys probably don't have that problem as much as we do, but
yeah, these guys go flat up through Rouge and Radio on every single lap. Full tank of fuel doesn't make a difference, just bang, gone. So, yeah. Absolutely, the 6th time, it's always the charm. Thielen did go quicker, he found another second, 2:01.3. We've got Benjamin Haleman with a 2:06. Badova, 59.7. Finds himself only 3/10 behind Larenk, now separating. Badova, of course, separating Larenk from his teammate Haleman at the moment. Is still Team Ballas and Crazy Fly Racing that are leading the way, and to be fair, actually it's Makovkin that's leading the way. The Crazy Fly Racing team are head and shoulders above the rest at the minute. 7/10 of a second. That is a big chunk of change to have over the rest of the field. Definitely puts them in a very good position for the win, although, oh yeah, no, we're down to 90 minutes, so they might be saved on the tyres. I was going to say Lambo's getting a bit of a reputation like the Audis for not quite having the tyres come the end of a stint. Just checking the kitty litter's going to slow him down in case he has any accidents there later on in the race. Polovchik crossing the line. Still got some time. And the track's now gone to optimum, Daniel. Here we go. The rest of the field likely to catch up then.
Yeah, sure.
We'll see.
I'm sure we're gonna see 6 simple. Yeah, it's 7/10 is quite the gap. So, but yeah, I'm sure there's some improvements there. I'm looking at Houman, who's doing 2/10, and he's jumped to the 4th position just now. So still something in the track. Laurent is also doing a improvement there on almost on 2/10, a bit over 1/10. So. Yeah, still some improvement left and right to be made, but yeah, as you say, Makovkin is 7/10 up on both the 2nd and 3rd position. Wow. Still, the level of racing is it hasn't let up, so that's good to see.
Yeah, the top 5 all under 2 minutes. I need to drive it like Kailami to get under 2 minutes. If I'm going to get quick, it's just yeah. And this is just, I absolutely love this course. I really struggle to get around it. I'm not going to lie. I really struggle to get around by there's just something about it. You just absolutely love courses like Watkins Glen. It's got a few hair-up-scare moments. You can be quick around there. It's good fun. Zolder, good fun. This track is so technical. I mean, even this part we're watching Benjamin Hale going through, 200R. As you'll know yourself, Daniel, as being a standard pleb-style numpty, much like myself behind the wheel, 200R, it's very easy to think to yourself, right, I can breathe a sigh of relief, look at the time in deltas quickly. Oh no, I'm off the track.
Yeah, exactly.
It really does keep you on your toes the whole way around the 3.69 miles here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every corner is technical. Every corner is has huge capability to lose it. Again, that could be our level of racing, but yeah, it's just you need so much concentration. It would have been so interesting to see this for 4 hours, but yeah, I'm confident by now that these guys would navigate that without problem. So yeah, there will be no reason to do 4 hours of hot lapping. So still happy with our solution for 90 minutes, but yeah, this track is phenomenal in that sense.
It is indeed. Oh, Polovchik and Larenk have set almost identical times. Larenk and Haleman really do have separation issues. As far as teammates go, they honestly so closely matched over the season. They've finished a position behind one another all season as well, I think. Padova was in between them. They've both... Larenk with a 59.3, Haleman with a 59.5. But yeah, as you pointed out there, Polovchuk also with a 1 minute 59.3. The two of them only separated by 18 hundredths of a second. Over 3 miles. It's incredibly close. Daniel Thielen still finding time as well. He's got to within 2.7. He hasn't improved since the track is optimised, but still got time to finish this lap. Makovkin is just coming through sprint, so he's actually going to get another lap as well after this one. And Martin Larenk is looking to separate himself from Polovchuk, although we'll put Polovchuk between him and his teammates, so you'd expect Haleman to respond very quickly. The Racing Club International drivers, good to see their liveries working. For anyone that actually, just a quick news flash while we're waiting on the last results coming in. Obviously there's been issues with the liveries. For anyone that hasn't heard, Awesome Sim Racing are expecting a fix by Monday, from what we've heard. If you are having problems with your Awesome Sim Racing, it does mean that the best way to get it to work is to go in and unfollow every collection and only follow the active collection. I believe it's any more than 80 or maybe even 40 liveries in some case, it will not sync for you. So if you are having issues with Awesome Sim Racing, it should be fixed by Monday, fingers crossed. And yeah, I think we did get it working for today, which is good because it's nice to see the Racing Club International liveries. Because we didn't get to see Benjamin Haleman's properly last time, we didn't see Badova's properly, we did get to see Thielen, but still Crazy Fly not working. Bogoroditsky in the car. Oh, Martin Larenk did go quicker. Daniel, he's done a 1 minute 59.8, so he's closed the gap, but that's still 4/10 of a second that Makovkin has got over the rest of the field. That's 2/10 per minute on track. It's a decent gap to maintain over a field this quick.
Yeah, and I mean, all these times are so quick. Yeah, that's quite amazing that you do a lap like that and you're still 4/10 behind. Oh, I see Daniel Thielen making a... That's a nice, excellent a plant, as we call it in snooker. That was an excellent move. So, just had to make a little snooker reference there.
100%. Oh, there we go. Absolutely love it. Daniel, the self-confessed snooker commentator, bringing in the snooker vibe club this year. I actually saw a video, Daniel. I'm not sure if I sent you it yet. I should have mentioned it to you. But it was actually someone commentating a motor race at Spa in the style of a golf commentator.
Nice.
So
that's my jam.
There we go. There's hope for you yet, Daniel, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. You would really need the whispering voice as well.
And here we see through 130R, beautifully poised, as he looks to make his entrance
too out there, John.
into the Casio Triangle. I know. I can.
Alman is placing his car there in the gravel pit. We're looking at Udoda making their final corner here. Let's see what they can do. Excellent style here. Can you imagine 4 hours of this?
Oh my goodness me! Yes, I actually could. Oh, please, yep. DC charity. There's a charity event coming up. Race for Heroes. That's it. Daniel's going to be doing comedy like that while he's driving.
Yeah,
it's just been decided.
If it pays well, then we can absolutely do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, people will donate to charity for that, Daniel. I can assure you.
Nice.
I think they will. Oh my goodness me, here we go. Good afternoon everyone in the chat, by the way. I've only just opened the chat up, so hi to anyone that has said hello. There is the qualifying finished. And we've seen 3 purple sectors, someone we've not seen all season. Makovkin and Bogoroditsky. Well, Makovkin getting it done. Bogoroditsky wasn't out during qualifying. He'll definitely feature in the race. Larenk and Verstappen did take row 2, and they've been separated from their RCI teammates by Team Ballas with Polovchuk and Pitzik. 3 McLarens in the top 4. The meta order has been restored. Badova and Mazur. Mazur making a debut in the series. He's in Audi. And we have Thielen and Koch, who's in, was Credi, who was racing with him so far this season. But no, we've got Koch in instead. So he is going to be part of this one. As we said, it's a 90-minute race, not the advertised 4 hours, as you can see. Not the most impressive of turnouts from the 23 drivers that signed up to the series, but of course it is places in the SimGrid VCO Grand Final, so a bit of cherry picking going on for some of the teams, some of them already making their way through, so already fully concentrated on those finals. We will be here for 90 minutes today, so we're going to follow, obviously, the original 90-minute format for the races. There will be a pit window of 30 minutes right in the middle of the race, but the drivers have a maximum amount of time they can spend on track individually of 60 minutes. So the pit window will obviously run until there's 60 minutes of the race has been run. That'll take us past the halfway mark, but the drivers will have to be in for their pit stop to do the driver swap, because of course the places in the final is a 3-round final in November and December. The top 5 teams get straight through. Top 3 go into a GT3 car, top 4th and 5th go into a GT4 car, and then 6th, 7th and 8th will get themselves into a playoff in October. That'll be in GT4 cars, and the top 3 teams from that will find themselves in the final in a GT4 car. So they'll go 55 places up for grabs in total between the 10 host organisations, the 12-week programme on low fuel motorsport, and the playoffs as well. Yeah, and I'm sure they'll get full attendance right the way through as well. We're just quickly making some changes to the server, so I'm going to pop on a video. Daniel and I are going to quickly work together to get the grid set, and I will be back with you momentarily.
Yes, see you soon.
Hello again. Yes, I am back. Daniel will be joining us in a moment or two. We're just getting the server set up remotely so we can jump in. 90 minutes of Suzuka for the final round of the VCO SimGrid Road to the Grand Finals. The Dutch way. And it has indeed been the Dutch way, of course, with Daniel Metz in the commentary box, giving us absolute expert pronunciation of the corner names at Zandvoort. Strangely much better than my Scottish accent can do. I was amazed by that as anyone. We had Imola, Zolder, and of course, an absolute all-time favourite classic as well, Watkins Glen on the last outing, as we saw in those opening highlights. Let me just close the windows because the football fans will be passing soon. Yes, so at the moment, Menno is getting the server set up remotely. He's actually racing in a competition himself, so full multitasking engaged. We'll get the drivers in, as I say, 90-minute race for this one. It will follow exactly the same format as the opening round, so there will be a 30-minute stint, 30-minute pit window right in the middle of the 90-minute race. All the drivers must, of course, come in and swap. No driver can spend more than 60 minutes out on track. That is the maximum allotted stint timer, and of course the top 5 will go straight through to the final 3 into the playoffs. So we're just waiting on the server. It should not take long at all. We'll have dual cameras for this one as well, which is always nice. So we'll get Daniel's view of this one as well. But yeah, any second now. We'll get ourselves a server set up and running. Let me just re-bring up the standings so we can familiarise ourselves with who is likely to be taking the places. Everyone that turned up today, in a nutshell. Team 1FF, of course, as I mentioned, already got themselves a place in the final, so they won't be taking part in today's race. Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll hold on to a position in here as well, actually. We'll have to wait and see. But RCI Esports, they're here. Haleman and Larenk dueling it out in qualifying. Separated in the standings by Crazy Fly and separated in the race quali today by Team Bala. So we can see they're in 8th place. So they were on the verge of getting a playoff place. And they're going to find themselves potentially in the top 5 with no VDS, Team Shazoo or Team 1FF. It's going to be a close battle to see who gets those top 5 positions. Actually, Race Esports in the Audi. 7th at the minute, 108 points, but it's double points for the final round as well. So lots to play for the drivers that are here. It's a guaranteed place in the final. Which will be quite the achievement. Team Drinkers Pub, 13 in the standings. And they're going to find themselves in that final. I can hear Daniel working away in the background. I've got his microphone muted on stream in case he needs to give me any information. But he is lurking in the background. Like a swan. Looks calm and composed. But the legs furiously paddling away underneath. Are you good to join us, Daniel?
Absolutely, yeah. The thing is that Menno is going to do that little server part, and some people just found out that he's actually racing himself. So, he'll just his stint will end soon. That's the joyous thing of being a sim racer yourself. Of course, you sometimes have to combine being an admin with the sim racing tasks. Of course. So.
Yeah, all the fun of the fair. I actually had, as some people might know, I do a fair bit of comedy. I've got my own little Ravencom's team, and one of the team members when he joined actually inquired as to whether I would be specifically setting up some kind of race structure so that we had races to broadcast. I have to admit it's one of the best laughs I've had in a long while. That would properly cleanse the soul for, no way. Floor was the word used there, by the way, in case that didn't come through on the microphone properly with my thick Scottish accent. It was definitely for. The organisation that goes into a broadcast can be pretty overwhelming at times. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of screens. But organising the actual races and things themselves, I doff my cap to anyone that spends their time organising races such as this. Let me just... Oh, that's not the screen. Oh, in fact, no, that is the screen I was looking for. Let's talk about this for a bit. I was going to bring up highlights from the previous race at Watkins Glen, but of course the legendary Race for Wishes making a return 2nd and 3rd of November, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a bit more details. We formally still have to announce them, but we're definitely going to do a 24-hour race on Spa-Francorchamps. So I don't think anyone doesn't like it. Are there any people who don't like Spa? I don't think there are. I can't imagine. So.
I mean, I do know people out there that firmly believe Zolder is the best track in Belgium, although I do feel they are maybe just aiming that directly to push my buttons ever so slightly. It's Spa, not only the best track in Belgium, absolutely one of the best tracks in the world. There's a reason that every single European race series visits Spa on their calendar. The British GT3s go to Spa, the German Spa, every single European race series all make a trip to Spa, and of course that glorious weekend, there was 102 cars or something they can have at a time given the extra pit boxes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy stuff.
If you look at the SRO 24 hours, that's so. I mean, the real world 24 hours on Spa. That's such an amazing event, and it's just the track, but also because it can accommodate that many drivers, that many teams. That works really well, and of course, not just talking about famous corners like Eau Rouge. But you really can't go wrong, and we always notice that when we organize something on Spa. Those races are pretty much always just sold out is not the right word, but there are no grid places left anymore. As soon as we announce anything on Spa, it always fills up pretty quickly. So the track is incredibly popular, and I think it's again, you can't go wrong. So that's why we decided to go for Spa this year. And it's going to be a full GT3 grid, and I think we're going to be, we're going to be transparent about this very much, because it's absolutely pay to win. Of course, we want to raise as much money as we can for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So what we're going to do is you can pay to get other teams a disadvantage, a temporary disadvantage, I should say. So, during the race, you're going to be able to give other teams, let's say like an hour of some extra ballast, depending on how much money you are donating. So it's absolutely pay to win. Of course, pay to win always has that negative connotation, but that's.
In this case, I'm 100% on board. This is the type of pay to win we need in society. If someone's going to pay to win on a computer game, then that money needs to go to charity.
Absolutely. So I think that's going to work really great, and it's just a fun element as well. It's not about it never really should be about winning, but I can fully understand that people are. Enthusiastic about this hobby and want to make the best out of it. Of course, that's completely understandable. But the 24 hours, the Race for Wishes is really all about the Make-A-Wish Foundation and raising as much money as we can for that event. So, that's really the goal, and I hope that this sort of pay-to-win model will really just make that a bit easier.
Yeah, the money should flow. I've seen it done a few times. I've actually seen a streamer who plays Sonic the Hedgehog, and you can make bits and pieces appear in the game or reverse the controls, and it all goes to charity. You buy a certain number of controls with a charitable donation. Say you donate $10, you will then get 10 interactions where you can reverse the controls for 30 seconds or make a couple of extra bounce pads appear. Oh, one of the most entertaining things I've ever watched, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, no, certainly putting ballast on the cars. I think the key to winning that race is start at the back, stay at the back, show no ambition to win, and the viewers are likely to leave you alone. If you try and win up at the front, the memes will be coming in thick and fast. So yeah, but a phenomenal charity. It's the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Do we need to say it? The work that they do, easing unbelievably difficult situations for fans, or when I say easing, giving some kind of light in what is a very, very, very dark tunnel. So yeah, a very worthy cause. 2nd and 3rd of December. Make sure you set your calendars, make sure you're there, stick an extra bit of your Christmas money aside, because remember, there is always someone worse off, unfortunately. But again, only if you can manage it. Every penny, every pound, it all adds up, and it definitely all helps. But even just watching and sharing the stream and getting involved, the Raven Comms team will be bringing as much broadcasting on that as we can. We do have some stuff on that weekend, but I can assure you there will be myself and the team will be bringing you as much of that as we can. Whether Daniel and the gang like it or not, we're getting involved. And that's the way it's going to be. So yeah, 2nd and 3rd of December, make sure you are there. We've just seen the highlights from Watkins Glen. How are we looking on the server, Daniel? Do we have a rough ETA on when we'll be up and running on that?
Yeah, the ETA was between 1 minute from now and 6 minutes from now. So, I see it's 14:15. So, yeah, Menno is still streaming. The thing is, he's really handy with the ACC server tools, and I be completely honest, I did a bit of experimenting in the beginning of the year to get that stuff to work on an Azure VMware server. That's sort of more my gig, but that unfortunately didn't work too much. But I'll be completely honest that I'm not really that into how the ACC server part works. So Menno is absolutely the expert on that, and especially to change configuration files on the fly. I don't want to mess that up. It's just too important for everyone to get things working in the correct way. I just want to wait for Menno so he can do his magic, and then we'll be on our way. And I'm sure that unless Menno has run into he does have his stint timer. Of course, as I said, he's racing right now, but I'm sure he's already working on it. I haven't spoken to him yet, but it should be very soon. I'm just trying to. I'm also in the meantime talking in Discord a bit, and I was sort of advertising our stream there. I said I hope that John Wright and myself aren't babbling for nothing. Got a funny reaction from Christopher Street. So we might be just talking to ourselves, but that's fine.
It's sometimes the only way to get an intelligible conversation, speaking to yourself. I've certainly found that. Daniel Thiel in the chat, playing annoying hold music.
So he muted us, and he's just listening to elevator music. So yeah, very.
Unless he's promoted my comedy to elevator music. Oh wait, is that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure it is. Music, I believe they call that. Is that what it's called? Is that the correct term? Let's get full geek. MUSAK, isn't it? No. I'm sure there is a terminology for music that is purely to be listened to on repeat. in elevators and things. So, yeah, I'm going to Google that at some point.
Alternative form of music. Yeah, I'm just doing a little Google, but oh yeah, the servers restarted. I just heard from Menno. I did. Yeah, thank God the servers restarted. I don't know how much longer we can keep on with this babbling, but this is the sort of chat that we've been saved from this afternoon.
You lucky people have been saved.
Yeah, I see a lot of people
yeah.
very happy with the server has been restarted. So yeah, everyone.
Yeah, we've got Michael Jeff in the chat applying for a receptionist position here at DC. We are waiting. Please hold. Very polite phone manner, Michael. I like that. You, yep, we will take your application on board. Men on the gang will have a look at that. Thanks for tuning in, Michael. Good afternoon. How are you? Looking forward to today's race. As Daniel just mentioned, it's going to be a 90-minute race today, not the full advertised 4 hours. The drivers have taken their steering wheels and off. So yeah, the teams have been picking and choosing based on where they feel they've got the best chance of getting through to the final. Some teams have already qualified in some of the other events, and I can see we have Daniel joining the server. Still no rain. Sad times.
We still have to forward the sessions.
So we still have to forward the session. Still have to forward the session.
So who knows? Who knows what happens?
Fingers crossed.
The rain has really been the how do you say that? Sort of the red line in this championship. So
it has indeed. The great equalizer.
Yeah. So yeah, the red line is sort of a Dutch thing to say. So it doesn't really make sense.
Is that what Max Verstappen's race team's called? Red Line Racing?
Red Line, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely not what I was referring to, but that's just the Dutch guy trying to do things in English, and yeah, imagine having to do that for 4 hours. Again, happy to have been saved of that fate. And it looks like I have to restart my laptop or my not my laptop, but my game, because I see people in the pit again.
Oh, Daniel, I can see people on the start line. There we go. Excellent. Okay, I'll reset that when you get back in. So there we go, we're just getting the truck set up in the background. We'll have some picture-in-picture action coming your way for the coverage as well. Sorry, massive fly just flew across the room there. Yeah, complete. I don't understand how they get in though. I've got all the windows closed to keep the football noise out. Still to find their way in though. But yeah, 90-minute race. It's 30-minute pit window. The drivers have a maximum 60 minutes they're allowed to spend on track. That is their driver stint timer. We can actually again, for anyone that doesn't know, actually, just another interesting piece of information that some people did know, some people didn't, and it's handy if you are in a team and you're wondering what's going on with other teams. You can jump on board with any of the cars in spectator mode, jump into helmet mode, and if you push Alt and then press D on the keyboard, you will change the race logic screen, and it will show you how long the car's been out on track, how long is left of their stint, and I'm not 100% sure what that little readout there is for. But as you can see, the race logic screen, so you can actually independently change that in each car, and you can keep an eye on competitors and everyone on track and see how long they've got left of their stint timer. Obviously, it doesn't make a massive difference for this one because it is only the single 90-minute race with the one straight driver swap. And I think, oh yeah, that has got. Oh, look at that.
Just looking how I can look at your stream as well. Of course, the viewers by now are completely aware that if I'm involved in a stream, that professionalism is a very long way off. So
It is
Yeah,
a word
there
we
you go.
use in the loosest possible term, Daniel, yeah. No.
Oh yeah.
Daniel's sitting thinking, yeah, it's a good thing we don't have 4 hours of him throwing jabs at me all day. Just throwing darts and seeing where they land. But there we go, we've got Daniel's camera in the bottom as well. But yeah, it's the comedy things we're saying, yeah, setting up servers, setting up for broadcast, getting all your screens open, Daniel. The amount of real estate that is required to be a commentator and broadcaster, especially on something like ACC, it's incredible. I've got 3 screens on the go at the moment, and I am sorely missing the 4th that I had to lend to a friend who was in need of a monitor. So yeah, but the amount of real estate required to run a broadcast, Daniel, it's fun. I'm actually thinking I might do a watch along now and again on YouTube just so people can see. But it is to keep up with all the data that we've got going on. It's fun times.
Yeah, I have a laptop that's about to take off. Which is not
AI noise cancelling. Nobody can hear a thing, Daniel, thanks to the audio software I use. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, that's the part where you, as a professional, come in, of course. But
again, even with myself, we use the word professional in the loosest possible terms.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm used to that in the sim racing world.
Yes.
I've seen people call themselves professional. That I'm fairly professional at what I do professionally, and the word professional doesn't even come close to what some people do in this world. But
oh, I'm glad you got the memo on that. I wasn't sure if you were going to see where I was going with that, but you did. Daniel got the memo. But yeah, no, that's fun times. But yeah, no, here we go. The start of the race. So I'm going to stop. I'm sitting here having a great little giggle to myself. It's been an absolutely brilliant season commentating alongside Daniel. The chemistry between the two of us have had a good old laugh. We've had some great racing, and there's going to be these 6 teams well worthy of the places in the final, because they've stuck it out, quite frankly. So yeah, well deserved. The 6 of them will find themselves in the final. Double points on the last round. We said this all season, Daniel. This competition is not Daniel, the irony. Did I not say this competition wouldn't be decided until the first 5 cars crossed the line on the last race?
Little did you know.
Little did I know. The team really took that to heart, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you didn't say 6 cars, so we'll be over till 6 cars come over the line.
Indeed. Oh, so close. Right, so tonight's lottery numbers are we've got and it is a dominance of the middle engine rear wheel drives as well. Lambo, the Meta McLaren making a comeback up at the top of the field. Badova in the Audi, and Daniel in my beloved Ferrari 296. Love that car so much, it's actually converted some of my Porsche driving friends that play R Factor. It's actually brought drivers I know back to ACC. That is how good the Ferrari 296 is.
It's a good car. It's a good car. Yeah, I do love it a lot. I mean, it's fairly easy to drive, so yeah, it's good
and the
for
torque as well. You can get right through the bus stop chicane at Watkins Glen in 4th gear.
I'm thinking if I ever reach 4th gear, but yeah, I probably do there. So
the heady heights of 4th gear. With 6,000 RPMs.
Just don't shift.
No, where was it? I was commentating. Laguna Seca. The first race there, 1957, 35,000 paying spectators turned up. It was won by a Ferrari, the Ferrari 500 TR. Average speed 80.19 miles an hour. Incredible. And just think, drivers back in those days, Daniel, they didn't have neck braces on their helmets either. Incredible.
Yeah, I was looking at, I'm not sure why, but I was looking at a couple of old cars, old Formula 1 cars with my wife yesterday. Don't ask me why, but it's just silly to think that they would just expose themselves to that sort of danger. Well, a couple of times a month.
Yeah, a lot of them was more than that. They're insane back then.
If you now look at sessions being red flagged because someone spins and hits his rear wing on the wall, we've come a long way.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, there's a bit of carbon fibre on the track. Cancel for 5 laps. Back in the day, the car's upside down. Be careful around that corner, please. Carry on.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Session will be started in 1.5 hours.
Yep. Yeah, but here we go. We've got 1.5 hours ahead of us. 60 minutes for each of the drivers maximum. So one of them's only going to do 30 minutes. It's Bogoroditsky leading the way for Crazy Fly's teammate. Got the job done in qualifying. 4 tenths ahead of the rest of the field. It could be separated by a lot less than that. That is for sure. Larenk and Polovchuk off the start as well. It's green lights, it's flat out, and it's Benjamin Haleman looking at a good start here into turn 1. Monza turn 1 gets a lot of stick, but for me this is far more difficult. A double apex off camber. Pulling into the camber, sorry. Bogoroditsky gets a good start. Larenk holds on to second place. Polovchuk, he got lively on the exit there. We see the Team Drinkers Ferrari kicking up some dust as well. But it is as you would expect. These drivers all know they've got a place in the final. Ain't going to see any crazy moves. Although Benjamin Haleman could maybe want to get his finger out just ever so slightly there. Badoba in the Audi is looking very quick through the anti-bank curves as they come down towards the Degnas again. Every part of this track so technical and yet so much fun to make your way through. Tap of the brake, throw over the inside, throw over the outside, throw over the inside once again, and then fly under the 130-yard bridge towards the hairpin. Badoba again looking very quick in that Audi, giving Haleman absolutely no pause for thought at all as the drivers ahead, keeping it very nice and neat. Thielen still hanging on to the back of the pack in the Ferrari, and Bogoroditsky, he is already showing that quali pace over the rest of the field. He had 4 tenths over them in quali, he's got 6 tenths over them, 2/3 of the way into the lap as he comes through Spoon. Another corner. If no more vital exit from a corner on the track, I would say, than this one here, because of the 130R. Any kilometres an hour you lose at top end here is tenths of a second you will lose to your competitors on the exit to the Casio Triangle. And Bogoroditsky already up to 9 tenths of a second. Larenk and still in second. Oh, and in the background, that's both of them run wide there. Haleman and Badoba looked like they did both get a bit lively. In fact, I'm going to have another look at that, because that is very close between the two of them there, as we can see on board with Badoba. You can see just how close the still are, just hanging right in that slipstream. But Badoba definitely closer to Haleman than anyone else on track, and he really did get a run, so he thought about it on the way in, but it's lap 1. You do not want to be in the wall early doors, Daniel. Race IQ shining through there. The Audi certainly looking like he could have made the move there, but he's backed right out with that nice, clean, as you would expect, opening first lap from the drivers, and we'll crack on to lap 2.
Yeah, it might not be 4 hours, but still, it's too long of a race to make any silly moves. And speaking of that, Daniel Thiele is just, as you already alluded to, just doing his own tempo, and all he has to do is finish the race. So doing the sensible thing there. Just do your laps, and make the best of it like that. That's the way to do it, I think.
Yeah, 100 million%. You've got a place in the final. Let's just take. Usually in a race you take 5% off your quality. Take 10% off. Just enjoy Suzuka, enjoy the driving experience, and have a massive smile on your face, knowing that the largest sim racing competition of the year will feature Team Drinkers Pub in a Ferrari. I'm all for that. Polovchuk, as we can see, in 3rd place, still very close to Larenk. Haleman in the background still finds himself with Badoba has dropped off a bit. It's actually Haleman closing in on Polovchuk then, so it's Polovchuk. Oh, he's slow through 130R. Benjamin Haleman is absolutely not coming into the Casio Triangle. We saw some dust kicked up from the race leader. Oh, they really abused those curves. Oh, and he's really abused that curve on the exit. He had the right hand wheels on the right hand side of the curb, and as he came back across, we can see the back wheels lifted. He's moved over. He knows he's going to have to at least take the inside line to defend. The McLaren could get around the outside. No, doesn't quite get close. Now I tell you what, Daniel, Polovchuk is a lucky boy there. Just as we were talking about keeping it nice and neat on the exit to the Casio Triangle, that was a risk he did not need to take, putting the wheels on the right hand side of that curb. I mean, the back of the Ferrari, the back of the lamp there, it's a McLaren, for goodness sake. It's definitely a McLaren, we can see it.
We're getting there.
The McLaren lifted, and yeah, he could have given himself a whole lot of headaches there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's definitely under pressure from Helmond, so mistakes are going to be made, but of course, Polovchuk has shown his level this championship, so it's possible even for him to make a mistake, but got away with that there. Again, also because Helmond is not taking any unnecessary risk. He's definitely putting the pressure on. So, but still knows that there's plenty of time to make any move in the future, as long as he can, of course, stay within, let's say, half a second. I mean, he will have to stay within the sort of draft range. So he is closing up again on Polovchuk. Polovchuk, of course, not too far behind Laurent. Let's see if he can set himself up here to make another attempt here on the straight.
Yeah, just a quick look. It's actually, I'm talking about Bogoroditsky. It wasn't Bogoroditsky that qualified for his team, of course, it was his teammate. So, we already know that one half of the team was quick from the qualifying performance. Bogoroditsky, 3.8 seconds. He's already gone quicker in the race than half the field went in qualifying. Yeah, sorry Daniel, say that again?
There's plenty of quality in that team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely dripping with quality right the way through. I'm on board with Larenk at the minute. You've got Halem in there, and it's a beautiful battle between these three. The Jeremy Bedova, it's Benjamin Halem and Jeremy Bedova. Bedova dropping off the pace of these ever so slightly, but he's still definitely in touch, and he knows as soon as these three start going side by side, the door will be held firmly open for him. It's Polovchuk, the Team Ballast driver, right in the middle is two RCI eSports cars, so maybe not the position he would have dreamed of being in, but certainly as far as Halem is concerned, it could not be much better. He knows he's got his teammate up ahead of him, and if they're communicating, it should make the overtaking ever so slightly easier if they know who's going where and when. Into the hairpin, he is closing. There is Menno in the chat. Good afternoon, Menno. How's the race going so far? How's your race going so far? How was the stint? We have just started, of course, the 90 minutes today. Bogoroditsky, he's 4.5 seconds in the lead over Larenk, Polovchuk and Halem. I mean, Daniel, talking about pace and talking about strength and depth, even Alex Ferguson is going to be proud of the strength and depth that they've got in this team. He's just done a 1:59.0. I think he's about to do a 1:58, which means he's gone faster than everybody else in qualifying, and we're only a couple of laps in, and he's got he's got anything from 30 to 60 minutes worth of fuel on the car as well. Yeah, steering wheel for sale.
Absolutely. I think these guys definitely belong in that in the grand finals. I think they will do pretty good. We hope so.
They'll feature strongly.
Yeah. It looks like it. So let's see the time that he did there. Yeah, we ended up with 1:59.2. Yeah. Might have lost it a bit there in that last sector. Might have lost it. I mean, it's still a incredible time. Oh yeah, he really messed up there.
Yeah, if I could lose it and get a 1:59.2, I've somehow managed to go 2 seconds quicker than an all-time best, and I think even a 2-minute 1 for me at Suzuka. I'm maybe being overly generous to my skill set there. Benjamin Halem was overly generous with the amount of contact he made with the outer curb in there. The back of the McLaren, the grass. Ooh, there we go, and then more grass. It's early doors. It's early doors. Let's see if we can get a memo to the teams. Remember, take 5%. Again, we would love to see some phenomenal online racing and side-by-side action, but I would also love to see these 6 teams all get themselves into the final. Get to the end of the race, make it into the final, get those points, and yeah, represent exactly what the dedication to sim racing is. Daniel Thielen in the gang. In fact, let's gratuitous free cam time, because we've got a working livery. Some of the liveries working. Team Drinkers Pub, Eindhoven. If I ever go to Holland, that'll definitely be one of the places to visit. Even if my beloved Dundee United have had, I've been sent packing several times by PSV.
That's probably, I don't know a lot about football, and I'm gonna say that's not per se the fault of PSV. So
yeah. But yeah, no, Dundee United, yeah, we were once undefeated against Barcelona. Oh no, never mind, we've got action going on. We've got side by side, and it is Polovchuk looking for the overtake on the ring. Is he going to get it done on the way into turn number 1? They're side by side. Was there contact there? Let's have a look and see. Polovchuk not so keen to be in between the two drivers of the same team. He has got the car in front. We'll get the replay on the main screen. Let's do the old chase cam and see how he got it done. Oh wow, he did get a run out of the last corner. They were side by side across the finish line into the braking zone, just past the 100 mark. They're on to... Oh yeah, there was a bit of contact. There was a bit of a touch there, not a lot, but it was just enough to send Larenk off, and yeah, he's lost a couple of tenths of a second there. Didn't go right onto the kitty litter, it was only on the tarmac, but still, that's a building process. He's going to have to go back through to catch back up. Himself and his teammate Haleman now find themselves back in sequential positions once again. Bogoroditsky, he is just sequentially making his way absolutely robotically perfectly through every single lap. His quickest lap so far is a 59.0. 2 laps ago he did a 59.2. His previous lap was a 59.1. Consistency, consistency, consistency. If there's 2 things that will win you a motor race: patience, consistency. Nikita Bogoroditsky, take a bow, good sir. 7.8 seconds ahead. Polovchuk's managed to get a sub 2 minute lap. Now that he's got ahead. Oh, with a Casio triangle once again. It's an interesting exit. He's on those curves. He's put himself under a bit of pressure from Larenk. Let's even go side by side into turn number 1 again. The Team Ballast car staying on the inside line. RCI are going to have to go round the outside. He tries to go. Oh, he goes to the cutback and he's got it. Oh, absolutely nice. Stunning move he's got done there. A little bit of a readjustment by by Polovchuk halfway through that corner, but it was a nice move by Martin Larenk. Let's jump on board a replay of this one again. Casio triangle exit. I said spoon exit was probably one of the most important drivers, putting my knowledge to shame. It's clearly that Casio triangle where they're getting the job done. You can see he opens the corner up on the Team Ballast car. Extra steering input halfway through the corner as well, but on corner exit, oh, you don't get to see the rear view mirror properly. He pops out right in front of Polovchuk, so the starting order has been restored. Bogoroditsky 9.8 seconds up the road. That gap is and his teammate Haleman, not Bogoroditsky's teammate Larenk. After that overtake from Larenk on Polovchuk, is back to Haleman on to Polovchuk then, and there is Bedova still lurking in the background. As I said, he won't be far away. Oh, what's going on there? That's 200R. That's on the exit to 200R. He's come out with a hairpin. That looked like a completely unforced error there. It was an unforced error. He was on his own. There's no one near him. The rest of the cars were battling behind him. Never can see. Maybe he was watching the battle behind him. There was nothing to see behind him at this point. Oh!
Just pulled the crest a bit. Wow, he got away with that. Of course, he does have some work now, but yeah, that could have been way worse than that. To lose it on the grass, that's quite tricky.
Yeah, you know, and it looked like, for all the world of it, that looked like a mistake I've made before, where you suddenly realise you're in 200R, you very quickly, oh, never mind, because they're going side by side into turn number 1. No, they're not. Not quite. But yeah, 200R, you suddenly realise that you need a bit of steering input. It just looked like he did put in too much steering input. It dragged the car over, it put a wheel on the grass. That's not a good thing to do. And Jeremy Badova then. If you'd have said to Jeremy 2 laps ago, who do you think you're going to get the overtake done on first? I guarantee his last choice would have been the driver leading that pack of cars, but that is the case as it is now. Martin Laurent gone from 2nd to 5th, Badova up to 4th, and we've still got Haleman and Polovchuk battling ahead of him. Here comes the Audi, you maybe think here. Badova perfectly positioned there. Daniel keeping the head down, just lurking there in the back, doing exactly what Daniel Thielen's doing, but he's just doing it behind this little pack, and he now finds himself staring on the back of a podium position, just keeping it clean between the Mayo and the Mustard so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of what happens on the track around you if someone makes a mistake. Of course, there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of that. But yeah, of course, Laurent is definitely going to pick himself up, and he's on 1.5 seconds now behind Badova. But yeah, the course is far from over, as I have to take a real quick break to get a cat out of my room. I'll be right back.
Okay, there goes Daniel. Deals with his domestic feeling, trying to take over the world, because let's face it, that's what cats do. They try and take over the world. From what I've heard, fun pets. So yeah, we'll get Daniel's cat sorted out, which we're watching with Jeremy Badova, as we were just discussing there. Perfectly positioned, he's kept his head down. A couple of others have made mistakes, and that has promoted him up to 4th, and now on the verge of a podium position. Laurent's found about a 10th over that lap, trying to gather it back in and close back up on the Audi ahead. So still the middle engine rear wheel drive dominance, of course, through the anti-bank curves. It's the 2 McLarens leading the Audi still. Haleman just correcting that there. He was a bit lively on the way out there, but he's managed to right it, yeah, nicely on those curves. The back of the McLaren does look slightly lively there. There's just little hints on the car, and we will see Badova, not just a hint there, that's a whole lot of steering input that he's just had to put in there to keep the car between the Mayo and the Mustard, heading down into the Degnas over those inside curves, really on that exit curve as well, just missing the grass after the tunnel, heading towards the hairpin. It's Bogoroditsky, unlucky for some, certainly not unlucky for him. 18 minutes in, 13 seconds in the lead. Of course, it was Laurent in 2nd until he had that mistake, but he was less than half a second ahead of Polovchuk, so the Bogoroditsky gap definitely on merit, and not just because Laurent made that mistake. His lap times, he is showing a bit of humanness now. He's been as slow as 1 minute 59.4, so 4/10 of a second of a gap.
What's he doing?
What is he doing? He's honestly, he's taking his foot off.
Yeah, that's just.
He maybe had to stop to have a quick drink of juice or something on the last lap.
Yeah. I should say it would be lovely to have be able to do a bad Boroditsky lap, because that would be just amazing. I would not know where to find all that time.
No, in that last lap there, 1 minute 59.3, so he's never been more than 4/10 slower. Really 4.5 tenths slower than the fastest lap he's set, and we're 9 laps in. That is just otherworldly consistency. Polovchuk is going to have to show some as well if he's going to break away from Haleman. Haleman keen to hang on at the back and see if he can get the overtake done. Oh yeah, no, we don't like the McLaren passenger seat camera. There's helmet cam, much better. As you can see, Badova in the background. Laurent's found another couple of 10s, so he's chipping away at the gap from Badova, but just goes to show you the pace that they've got so equilibriously matched. It's going to take Larenc potentially a good few laps to actually catch back up. Oh wow, Benjamin Haleman with all that extra steering input. Bye Polovchuk. There we go, you can see that gap visibly stretching out. It's going to be more than 4/10 this time. Oh, he's really pushed that in. How does he manage to brake there so late on the way into the hairpin, Daniel? I mean, I know it's the I keep asking who drives what cars. You've been chopping and changing a little bit, Daniel. What is it you've settled on at the minute? Are you in the McLaren at the minute?
No, I'm also a Ferrari boy now. So I don't do a lot of. I wish I had more time for sim racing, but yeah, like an idiot, all the things I do are a bit of organization, helping Menno out, and yeah, that's basically all my sim racing action right now. But when I do actually get the chance or take the time to do some steering myself, I personally yeah, really like the Ferrari because it's a pretty easy car to drive. So that's perfect for someone with my skill level. Not to take anything away from anyone who's driving the Ferrari, but yeah, it fits me like a glove.
Like a glove. I've not watched that in ages. I'm going to have to watch that movie. Oh, there we go then. I might have underestimated Martin Larenc's driving talent. I did say with the pace that they had, it was going to be a couple of laps before he caught back up. Not only has it only been a couple of corners since he caught back up, he's got the overtake done. He had an absolutely world level sector 3 there to finish lap number 10. To finish lap number 9, sorry. Again, I did mention that Spoon, fairly critical exit you get out of there, and it's not even the Spoon exit. Badova just a bit lively on that inside curve, unsettles the car ever so slightly, and look at the McLaren slingshot onto the rear spoiler. Casio triangle, we've seen so much action there, and in the middle there you saw the Audi moving laterally to the left, to the right, then the left. That cost him a bit of exit speed. No exit speed was cost for Larenc right in that slipstream all the way to start finish line. Towards the end of the Audi did bring a good fight back. This wasn't enough to deter Larenc. You had the look, you saw the Audi run ever so slightly deep, left that space there, and Larenc just slides the McLaren right up that inside line on the exit to turn number 1 and into the anti-bank curves. That is Larenc right back in the hunt. Badova down to 5th position. Haleman, Larenc's teammate, still trying to hang on at the back of Polovchik. There is only still that 4/10 gap there, but hats off to Martin Larenc, Daniel. That was a stunning overtake. The overtakes we've seen so far into turn 1, I mean, it needs to be a good overtake. Turn 1 at Suzuka, I still maintain it's one of the most difficult turn 1s in the whole of motorsport. Monza is an absolute cakewalk compared to the double F apex camber nightmare that is turn 1 at Suzuka. And yeah, Larenc really added to his own personal highlight reel there with a phenomenal amount of car control through a difficult corner against a fierce competitor, and comes out on top.
Yeah, that first corner here, you have to time it so well, because if you're too late, you're definitely yeah, over that asphalt there. So yeah, to actually be able to make a move there, you will have to sort of assess what the other car is doing as well. So yeah, that takes a lot of talent. Of course, we know that Larenc has that, but the girl is isn't a numpty himself. So yeah, that's a good skill there. Looking at Haleman, yeah, 3/10 now behind Polovchik. Just yeah. I'm not going to say he's biding his time, because of course that would not be fair to Polovchik, who's just doing a very good job there, but definitely keeping the pressure on there. So Polovchik will have to stay focused here.
Yeah, he really is going to have to. There's going to be absolutely no let up whatsoever. Just ask Martin Larenc.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in 2nd place. He's just had to pull an absolute worldly of an overtake to get himself back up to 4th and try and get back in this podium hunt. But well, that's been going on actually. Badova must have lost a bit of time as well. Larenc's now 2.5 seconds down on Haleman and Polovchik. So despite those two being inseparable and that's stuttering, so let me just quickly close that. Perfect. Yeah, they have crafted a fairly phenomenal gap. Polovchuk, the only driver other than Bogoroditsky to go sub 2 minutes. Haleman with a 2-minute .2, his quickest lap, and Loren's quickest a 2-minute .3. Badoba 2 minutes .5. So if anybody's wondering where I made the guesstimation, it was going to take a few laps for Loren to catch up. That would be why there's only a couple of tenths separating the fastest laps that these drivers are putting in at the minute. And oh wow, that's 25 minutes in already.
That's nice.
It really does. The pit window's going to be opening in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Bogoroditsky, what a position he's in. He's miles in the lead, and he knows his teammates quicker than everyone else anyway, because he qualified pole position.
Yeah, so they're probably, I would expect them to do another 50-50 division. I think they did in previous races, so...
Yeah, straight 45 minutes each.
Yeah. So, yeah, why not? I mean, they're both obviously excellent drivers, so, yeah, just get the job done. And maybe I'm making it sound too easy, but, yeah, that's basically what they have to do, keep focus and get the job done. So, yeah, makes sense to just do a 50-50 division with the with how the field looks today, I would say. Because of course, I don't want to be show a lack of respect to the other competitors, but obviously they are not really fighting against the other drivers today. They're mostly fighting against themselves, probably. A mistake is easily made. Maybe not as easy for guys like Boroditsky, but. Yeah, it's still easy to just lose your focus for a second, and it's still. I would say that especially if the pressure from other drivers is a bit lower, it's easier to lose focus and just make that small mistake. So of course, with Boroditsky, you would hope that if any mistake would be made, that the consequences wouldn't be all that big anyway, but. Yeah, it's still definitely a matter of keeping your brain active, even though it might not be stimulated as much as, for instance, the grand finals are probably going to be pretty intense for even for these guys. So yeah, that's something nice to look forward to for them.
Yeah, 55 cars. So by my I calculate 30 GT3 cars and 25 GT4 cars in the final. 33, 30, 33, 10. Oh, and 3 from LFM, sorry. So 33 GT3 cars and 20 something. 20. 25. There we go. 25, so it's actually 58 places in the final. Yeah, 25, so that will be the lobby on grid at the same time, the GT3s and the GT4. So yeah, there'll definitely be a lot more on-track stimuli. But as you say, I completely agree, Daniel. It's a lot more difficult to keep that concentration when, I mean, not that I know what it's like to lead a race for long periods of time. But yeah, certainly keeping that concentration out at the front. I've seen that myself, even being a back marker at a course I love like Barcelona. 3 laps to go, I found myself out of the last corner and into the right-hand wall.
Yep. That's how it goes. Because there's a sort of complacency that just comes in, and then all of a sudden, yeah, you find yourself wondering, how the hell did I lose that?
Yeah, there's nothing better than that feeling in SimRacing, crashing just after the pit entrance and realising you've got to do a whole lap with the origin black flag parade. Now I personally like that because I'm a Dundee United fan. We play football in origin black, so I just tell myself it's the home team supporters cheering me on. It's not.
Just looking at Daniel Thiele, who had a very small moment there in the final chicane. Just doing a little replay there. But, yeah, I think I saw a how do you call that in English, John? We call it pion. A cone. That's it. I saw a cone fly.
That's right. Cones flies better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do. Daniel Thiele just outbraked himself, so he just I think did the right action. Just no silly moves. Just went straight ahead onto the asphalt and on the escape road, I should say, and just recovered again. So on the way again. 22 seconds behind Doda, just doing his own thing. That's the way to go.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. Just bring it home, get yourself that place. Up at the front, it looks like Polovchuk and Haleman. Safe to say Haleman wasn't just biding his time back there. He was unable to get past Polovchuk, and Polovchuk is shifting through the gears. His previous lap was only 300 slower than Haleman's fastest lap of the race. He's really starting to show that pace up at the front. Sorry, let's talk about showing pace up at the front. Bogorodinsky has just done a 1 minute 59.8. Yep, to go with his new fastest lap, which is a 59.0.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Maybe swiftly on so the commentators don't feel overly depressed. Polovchuk, 18 seconds.
That's why we do this, right, John?
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, I would genuinely be lapped before he comes in to take his pit stops.
I would just be nervous. I would just be nervous because I don't want to wreck his race. Because the difference between our levels is just so huge that I would sort of be starstruck, I guess.
Yeah, you would literally feel like you were driving a GT4 as you went past. Like, is this thing moving? Is that? I think I've left the handbrake on. I think I've left the handbrake on. He's gone. Wrong. Yeah. Somebody took a couple of 100 horsepower out of my car. No. It's just his tail lights disappearing off into the distance. Just absolutely beautiful. Lap after lap after lap after lap. The consistency again, quite ridiculous. That really is just putting in those times all under the 2 minute mark. Polovchuk doing another 2 minute 0.5 on that last one. Haleman with 2 minute 0.9. Larenk going quicker than them both by 3/4 of a second, and that gap to his teammate is starting to close at the same rate. It's extending to Polovchuk ahead. Budova now a bit off the pace as well, 7 seconds behind, but again the mindset here, even the most fiercest of competitors in this situation has got to be thinking, you know what, I tried to make a push for it, I couldn't quite get the overtake done, let's just make sure I get to the end, because 60 minutes, it still might be pushing your luck a bit on the tyres. 32 degree track temperature, so you just, in these situations, Daniel, again, even the fiercest of competitors has got to be thinking, let's negate any kind of risk here and just bring home what we can. If you see an opportunity, by all means go for it, but if you start dropping a bit of pace to the car behind, there's no point pushing and getting outside your comfort zone, finding yourself in the kitty litter, in the gravel, in the pits for 4 minutes of damage. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, very, very true. I mean, that's absolutely not worth it. Of course, we also, the pit window is open by now. Of course, we also have the pit stops coming up, so who knows what can happen there. But again, the same thing applies. You really want to be careful not to pick up any stop and goes, drive-throughs, any punishment for just speeding in the pit lane. Want to be really careful, but that makes it interesting because you, of course, maybe you're slowing down a bit too early. So that's with how close Lang and Houman are, for example, that could still be a factor, because it's just, even though it's just a second, it's just a second between Houman and Lang. So if, for instance, Houman would slow down just a bit too much in the pit lane to make sure that he's not getting a penalty, that could be enough for Lang to move back to P3. And of course, the same goes for Polovchuk. That's just 1.5 seconds now. So yeah, that's a very real possibility, and something that we're gonna have to take a look at during the pit stops once the first people will start coming in. Of course, we still have 10 minutes until the half of the race, and in these conditions, I would expect most people to just do a 50-50 division, unless there's a huge difference in talent between the drivers. But yeah, I think we can assess that that's not the case. So.
Indeed, yeah, just having a quick replay of Polovchik there. He has cut the track. He's going to have to be careful. We were just talking about track warnings. I'm sure there is a way for me to check this now as well, actually. I will try and remember to see how many track warnings the drivers are carrying, but certainly he had all four wheels to the right of the exit curve with the Casio triangle there. And he definitely wasn't off the accelerator because he's actually gained the 2/10 on Haleman behind him, so he's going to have to be careful as Daniel Thielen comes in to the pits, first car in, and we are 35 minutes into the race, only 5 minutes into the pit window. 60-minute maximum stint timers for the driver, so of course him and his teammate will of course meet all the requirements there. Bedeau just putting a couple of wheels on the gravel as well there. He's lapping 2:1.5, so did lose a bit of time on that last lap. Quite a chunk actually, just over a second. But again, the chances of him actually pushing at the minute, he's got a 9-second gap to Larenk. Larenk and his teammate getting very close indeed, while Polovchuk is extending that gap out now, 1.9 seconds. Larenk was the quicker of the two RCI cars in qualifying, was in second for long periods, or for the opening period of the race till he made that mistake, and then it was Polovchuk and Haleman that got in front. Had to get an overtake done on Bedeau, but done so, and he really needed to close in on his teammate to get as close as possible around the pit stops, and he's managed that. Can he get the overtake done? Will the team decide to bring one of them in the pit, or they're going to stick to their original pit strategy? It'll be interesting to see if that has any bearing on when they decide to come in. You can see Polovchuk already into turn number 1 as the two RCI cars still firmly chasing. There is the Team Drinkers car back out. It's Michael Jeffrey Koch, who is out in 6th place in the Ferrari. So it's his job to bring it home. A place in the final awaits. Larenk almost getting the side by side with Haleman there. Just missed that 0.3 of a second. He was behind through that last delta, and he really is getting very close indeed through the Degna, as Polovchuk still managing to find time on the two of them as well. He's found another 0.2 over the last 2/3 of the lap there, Daniel. And Haleman and RCI Esports with Larenk, it is a bit of an interesting proposition. I mean, did the team bring... If you were the team at this point, and say you planned on both these cars being out for the full hour for the opening stint, do you change the pit strategies at this point with the two of them being too this close to one another, or do you think the dynamic of the race, having less cars in it, they might just get told, you know what, have at it?
Yeah, I would really think the latter, since the risk is of course a bit lower, and yeah, let's just see what happened as we see. Yeah,
he's just lifted.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think that also answers the question that they're not taking any risk there. But yeah, it could be interesting to just get either one of them in earlier, and just let them do their thing. It's going to be especially interesting if they're both coming in at the same time. I'm not sure if these guys are on the same voice chat, for instance. So yeah, that could be an interesting choice. Of course, they're not going to have to. Well, technically, they're in different teams, so they won't have to wait for each other if they go into the pit box at the same time. But yeah, it would be interesting to see who will be the quicker of the two if they would decide to go in at the same time. Just for reference. Daniel Thiele did his pit stop in 1 minute and 8 seconds, so that's 36 seconds standing still the entire time from beginning to end for the pit stop, where he absolutely did not take any risk. It was 1 minute and 8 seconds. So let's see how quickly these guys can do their pit stops.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just doing a couple of little technical things in the background. We just, I think we can actually get a better picture from Daniel. Sorry, Daniel, just some technical stuff in the background. Something seems to have changed size at some point. There we go.
Ah, okay.
So let me just, yeah, there we go. And nice. We are up and running again, and we can even get you on the main screen as well if you wish. So if anything does come up, do that as well. But yeah, the pit stops are starting. Well, I'm still resizing the big one. There we go. But as the final round, the road to the grand finals the Dutch way, and what a way it has been so far. Been an absolute pleasure watching over these races so far with Daniel. We've had Imola, Watkins, Glen, some absolutely incredible tracks. I don't think there's anyone can deny that one. And that is fixed, so let me do that and that and that. There we go. Everything up and running. Here we go, out with the last corner, out with Casio Triangle once again. Martin Larenc looking very quick. We're going to see another overtake on his teammate here. He's going to go up the inside, and yep, there we go. That is two teammates who realise the bigger picture there. Larenc outpacing Haleman, and Haleman, let's face it, he's still going to bring home fourth, potentially third if he can catch up to Polovchuk, but kind of as we expected, Daniel. Not really going at it hammer and tong there. Haleman very compliant, and Larenc now free to try and chase back down Polovchuk for second place.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was obvious coming onto the straight from the Casio Triangle that Larenc was the quicker of the two, and Hamann took no risk. So yeah, that's a good move, I think. But again, still the pit stop could move things up again between these two, because the gap is so small. The gap towards Polovchuk from Larenc is still, it's not a huge gap, 3.5 seconds, but that makes him a bit safer for the pit stop in terms of if he does does decide to brake a bit earlier to avoid any risk of what's at the end? You told me this in the first race, but if you go in speeding into the pit lane, you get a drive-through when you...
you drive through on the way in, stop, go 30 seconds on the way out.
Yeah, exactly. So to not risk any drive-through and brake too late. Of course, that's another thing that these guys will have down to the detail of when they have to brake exactly. I'm sure that talent doesn't stop when they enter the pit lane, but it's
I'm going to be honest, Daniel, I've presided over quite a few races that would suggest otherwise.
Ah, really?
Oh, yes. I think the competitive spirit to get everything done exactly, precisely, does mean if you miss something by a millisecond, it can have dire consequences. Drivers, I think another one as well, I think sometimes drivers, they can accidentally pop it back up 2 gears, stick it in neutral to stop the car and then jam on the gear shift. If you're in second gear in the pit lane, that's classed as speeding and you are given a penalty straight away.
I mean, that really does make sense that they're trying to maximize everything, of course. Even though today there's just 6 cars, but maybe that would be it would be a factor for me.
Yes.
If it's just 6 cars, just take that. Even if it takes half a second more, just brake a bit earlier, because it's just you're not gonna be able to make up any positions if you just lose an entire. If you get a penalty over someone else that doesn't, that's you're not gonna be able to make up anything from that. Speaking of that, Badoda just had his pit stop to make a change for his teammate, and he was in the pit for 1 minute and 3 seconds, so that's 5 seconds quicker than Daniel Thiele. and he was standing still for 31 seconds, so that's also 5 seconds there. So yeah, interesting. So that's a bit quicker compared to the 9-1 Ferrari.
And I know why.
Tell me why.
Because Daniel Thielen uses automatic. And all the rest of the teams, I'd imagine, will be 5 seconds quicker because they do everything manually. But yeah, you lose between 3 to 5 seconds doing things automatically in the pits. People have tried to explain it to me, and no thank you. I'll stick to automatic. I'm okay with that. So yeah, so that's what it is. If you manually do your pit stop, you're going to be 5 seconds quicker.
Tell you what, John, even I don't do automatic.
Oh wow.
Would you believe that? I'm such a pro.
Wow, absolute pro. And the thing is, I've got no excuse. I've got one of the Fanatec wheels that's got more buttons than any human being could possibly need during the race. I'm sure there's a button on here that'll make me an espresso coffee if I press it correctly. The windows open, the lights go on and off. I could probably even start my car if I owned one. But yeah, no, I've got enough. I've got enough buttons to get the job done, just not enough brains to carry home the operation. When you've got more buttons than brain cells, it's either a whole lot of buttons or not much brains. One of the two.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure. On my side, I'm not sure it's brains. I'm not saying I'm smarter than you are, John. But the thing is, I'm in my rig, so I should be more often in my rig. So every time I come back into it, I completely forgot where I bounded all the buttons on my steering wheel. So I tend to push them all, and as you say, the alarm goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, just flashers left and right, and oh yeah, sorry, didn't mean to flash you there, but yeah, but I do always know that I have one of those nice switches on the right side that I use that for turning the engine off and on again as a pit stop. So yeah, I am able to do that manually. I'm not sure if there's any advantage in that, but if you're as slow as I am, the only advantage you could take is probably back three. So I always that's the fun I have in the longer races, is trying to jump people through the pit stop. But yeah, that's basically all I can do, because when you find me on the track, you're behind me, you're almost certain that you're going to be able to pass me, because I'm a lousy racer. So
yeah,
so all I can do is
away you go.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Go run your race, I'll run my race.
Yeah,
we'll all make it to the end and everybody will be happy. So, this
hopefully.
is the way,
And
Daniel.
every time I try to do a battle, that's why I absolutely suck at sprint race, because every time I try to do a battle, I mess up someone else's race. And then I think, oh well, I'm not going to do another race for the next 2 months. Which doesn't improve my skill level. So it's a vicious circle.
Yes,
I think that's a bit of fat bastard there. That's a vicious circle.
He's doing the Scottish accent, you know, he's doing it very well. I feel I should be doing the Dutch accent with the smoke and the pancake, because, you know, we are loving these movies. They are excellent.
I think that Sean Connery was probably going for a Dutch accent when I hear you.
No, I'm not even going to besmirch Sean Connery's good accent by trying to do one myself. Oh my goodness me. Yes indeed. Michael Caine's line in that film though is one of the best ever. If there's 2 things I can't stand, it's intolerant people and the Dutch.
Yeah, and I completely understand that line, because I feel the same way.
Much money, Penny. The accents come thick and fast. You get Arnold, come on, don't do the Arnold, I'll leave.
Come on, oh, Geloofcheck is in the pit.
Thankfully, Sanity has been returned. Sanity has been returned. Here we go.
There's also still racing going on.
There is, Haleman and Larenk. Now, Larenk, I did say he got up very quickly, as we saw, he caught up very quickly. Got the overtake done. Haleman didn't read the rest of the memo, where Larenk breaks away. He is actually following him. The two of them working almost in conjunction here as Haleman enjoying some slipstream from Larenk ahead. Now Kolovchik was 3.5, 4 seconds in the lead when he came into pits. So yeah, any deviations in his pit stop strategy or his actual physical pit stop itself could see these two close right back up on him. Bogdanowicz has stayed out. He's 24 laps in to his stint. He's not gone any quicker than 159.0 so far. There is the Team Ballast car, Ollie Pitzik, coming out of the pits, and our trackside reporter will bring us news of the details of the pit stop there. Daniel, please.
30 seconds, so that's 1 minute and 3 seconds, just like the 93 car who took over from sorry, what's his name? I always forget his name. I forget how to pronounce it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but he took over from
Badova, Jeremy Badova.
Badova, yeah, exactly. Sorry about that. I always forget your name. But, so yeah, they both did the pit lane in 1 minute and 3 seconds, but Pitzik was actually 30 seconds quicker. So yeah, that's
30 seconds quicker.
Sorry, 1 second quicker. So he was.
30 seconds.
Yeah, that would
1
be
second
amazing,
quicker. Right. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
He would have done the pit stop in 1 second, which would really have been amazing. And speaking of pit stops, Laurent is also coming in. So Larenk, I should probably say, also coming into the pit lane. So let's see how quickly he can do the job, and let's see if he can come back in front of Heilman when he comes into the pit.
Yeah, and so Pitzik was a second quicker than Mazur, so we can definitely see some differences in the time. Can Larenk find any time on the Team Ballast pit stop, or is theirs going to be the gold standard time of the day? You can see any number of reasons that could cause a fluctuation. All the drivers so far have managed to stop directly in their pit box. That of course can be an absolute killer of pit times if you miss your pit box and just have to do that very quick reverse. Larenk is still stationary. Bogdanowicz, Pitstick just finishing his out lap, and he is along the start finish straight. And I tell you what, Martin Larenk is giving himself every opportunity to get back into second, because I believe, he's just behind. So he is still behind. My apologies, I was looking at that the wrong way around there. But there is Pitstick already through turn number 1, but here comes Larenk on the exit. I'm thinking, Daniel, that Larenk has maybe found a wee second, maybe a second and a half on Pitstick's pit time.
So Pitzik was actually stopping for 30 seconds. Both did 1 minute and 3 seconds in the pit, so that probably shows how incredibly close the times are. With 3 cars doing 1 minute and 3 seconds. And all 3 of them are, Pitzik is on 30 seconds, standing still. Verstrepen and Mazur did 31 seconds. So actually, Larenk was a bit slower, but yeah, only on paper, because that's probably half a second there. Showing the total pit time being 1 minute and 3 seconds, and then the total time stopped being 31 and 30 seconds respectively. That shows how incredibly close these times are. And again, now we have Heilman coming. So let's see how quickly he can do that pit stop there.
Yeah, even the pit times are so close.
Yeah, they absolutely maximized it.
That's slow. Yeah, I think he is going to be 1 minute 4 stationary for 31. Because that was a bit of a lackadaisical roll at the end. Of course, no real pressure. I'm sure he'd love to get back out in front of his teammate. A bit of inter-team bragging rights. I don't think it'll make actually much of a difference to their overall finishing position. I think Larenk, even if he does finish behind Busek's car, Busek now out of the pits, they will still finish ahead in the standings, and it is...
Ooh, he's in front. So Heilman is in front of Verstrepen.
Oh, that's
Corsa.
right, got his pit stop all wrong. It looked like he slowly rolled into the box right at the end there, Daniel. Give me some numbers on that, please.
We have another 1 minute and 3 seconds, and 30 seconds stopped. So Helman was actually a bit quicker, but that is the time he stopped. It was 30 seconds to Verstappen's 31 seconds. So again, it's going to be probably a matter of tenths. The monitoring that I have only shows seconds, so it's probably rounded up there to 31 seconds. But incredibly close, just 4 guys, 1 minute and 3 seconds. And also Borenditsky now in the pit, so that will be our final pit stop there. And of course he has a pretty big gap to Pichik in the second position. I think that's even, the gap is a minute now, so slowly coming down, 50 seconds to Pichik. I wonder, of course he's going to be able to get out in front again. But let's see how quickly they can do this stop. Moving now, so that's another 30 seconds. Time in pit is going to be another, actually 1 minute and 2 seconds. So
not to be outdone.
Yeah, exactly. Borenditsky also, of course, taking the win in terms of pit stops today. So very nice, and his teammate in the car now, of course.
Indeed, yeah, they are, and the teammates are battling again. It is Busek and Verstappen going at it for RCI Esports, and again it is the blue car that is getting these Casio triangle exits. Busek stays on the extreme inside, and there we go, a little bit of a bump draft for his teammate then, as he makes it ever more so slightly. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
That didn't go as the team planned. Now, if anybody ever wants to know why bump drafting is an art form, here's why. Take 2 of the quickest drivers on the planet, get them to work together as they head along the start-finish straight, and then send one round the outside into turn 1. Seems simple enough, but the extra pace the car in front gets from the bump draft is it can be substantial. That's why you don't see it happening too often. Oh, but yeah, see, sure just went round the outside there. The orange car really, the yellow car, sorry, really not getting a good run through the Casio triangle. There we can see McLaren could have got ahead at this point, but that is far too late in the lap to be going side by side. As you can see, tries to send it round the outside, carrying so much pace are both cars to make contact on the way through. That's extra work there for Verstappen to keep it between the mayo and the mustard, and that was very almost a Team Haas moment there from RCI Esports. I mean, slightly less aggressive than some of the Team Haas we've seen in the past. Love Gunther Steiner, by the way. He's one of my absolute favourite personalities on the whole planet. Never mind his Formula 1, so no shade being thrown in, but the drivers can get a bit lively in the team. But certainly Verstappen and Busek there. The bump draft, you really do need to time it properly, because as we saw there, you could end up with some major problems for your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, what you say about Steiner, you either love him or hate him, is what I pretty much gather.
Love
so
him,
far
you don't know what
yeah.
you're talking about. That's my 2 cents on that one.
Well, personally, I absolutely don't mind the way Steiner does things, but there's some people that don't like the fuck smash. What was it? The fuck smash my door sort of attitude he shows, or even would say that he sort of wrote off Mick Schumacher. But I mean, the kid got his chance and probably wasn't good enough. So there you go. But of course, to each their own opinion. But I completely understand why you would write off a driver at some point, as you see Verstappen within a 10th now again of Pichik. Yeah. Really close battle here between the teammates.
Yeah, it is indeed. And as I say, I don't even think it matters how they finish at this point. Because I think the blue car will finish ahead.
in the standings.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
The blue car are still going to finish ahead. In fact, they're going to win the whole championship, even by finishing in third. So fourth even. Crazy Fly, yeah, they will, because they'll still be ahead. They're 6 points ahead of Crazy Fly. Oh no, in fact. Oh, Daniel, no. Team Blue need to finish ahead and get themselves some more points. Pitsec at the minute is going to get 98 points, and the blue car of Verstappen is going to get 18 points less, and there's only a 6 point difference between the two of them at the minute.
So, and how about Bucek? Because would you expect that maybe team orders to come into play?
I mean, it's for the championship, so it might. I mean, it really might, because at the minute the orange car is in 4th place in the standings, 8 points behind Crazy Fly and 6 points behind their teammate. Sorry, no, they're not. RCI, the two cars, they're separated by 14 points. So an 18 point difference. Yeah, this is going to be all down to the maths. So I wonder if we will see team order, because like I say, if Verstappen gets ahead of Bucek and gets 3rd place, oh, even that's not enough. It's going to be a 10 because of the double points. There's 10 points of a difference between what you're awarded for 2nd and 3rd, and there's a 6 point difference currently. So Pitsec and Team Bala, Pitsec is potentially on for the win here.
My maps are absolutely terrible. I'll tell you that. But let me just see if I can.
Oh no, Crazy. Okay, I'm talking about Team Crazy Fly. That's Team. Yeah, Team Crazy Fly. That's who we're talking about. Yeah, they're 3rd in the championship. And it's McCovkin that's on for the win. It's Team Ballas that I'm looking for. Right, my apologies. Pitsec is Team Ballas, and it's Crazy Fly that are 6 points behind RCI. They're on for the race win. So yeah, Crazy Fly are going to win this whole championship no matter what. My apologies. It's all about where RCI Esports, and they are both still going to finish ahead of Team Ballas. Yeah, my apologies. I got my surnames mixed up. My apologies. Crazy Fly are 3rd in the championship, 6 points behind RCI's Verstappen car. The blue car. So even if the blue car get up to 3rd place, there's still 2 positions between themselves. Team Ballas are going to come firing back into it, but they are 50 points down on the RCI team. They won't make up 50 points of a difference during this race. Of course, there isn't enough positions on track for them to be separated by 50 points, even with the double stand-in, so they will take 4th. So it's going to be McCovkin bringing home Crazy Fly at the minute, and then it's going to be RCI Blue, followed by RCI Yellow, followed by Team Ballas Esports.
Yeah, so the 2nd position. Let's see.
Yeah, and Michael Mazur will bring Race Esports home to 6th in the championship, because there's a 3 point gap between Team Ballas and Race Esports, and there's going to be more than a 3 point difference in what they bring home.
Just also looking at Team Drinker Spot, because they're getting 68 points and they have 39 points. Is that correct? Yeah, so they would get 107 points, I think. Just ever so slowly doing the math here. Of course, we have plenty of time as these guys are still battling it out on track. Still
yes,
3
obviously
tenths
lots
between
of
them.
sponsors, there we go. But yeah, these two absolutely inseparable. Busek showing some good pace. Makovkin has really hit the ground running. He's just taken the fastest lap of the race and gone sub 1 minute 59. He's done a 58.692. So already right back on quality pace at the start of his stint. 25 minutes left for him to put in these laps as the RCI esports team have themselves a bit of formation driving around the Suzuka at the moment. Oh, look how close he's getting there. The blue car's seemingly a lot better on brakes, although in the slipstream again you're able to close the distance ever so slightly quicker. But the two of them are still definitely chasing. Pitsick doing exactly what he needs to do in second place. It's going to bring them a place in the final as well. The 3-round final, of course, November and December. Places is what the drivers. Oh, Michael in the pits for Team Drinkers Pub. He's got a bit of a scrape on the side of the car there.
That's interesting to see them back in again.
Yeah, 130. Oh.
Yikes.
130R, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so straight into the pit to get that damage repaired. Oh, yeah, because the back end completely went. Yeah, he's going to come in and get some fresh tyres.
Yeah. Doesn't make a difference in position, of course, but yeah, and especially then, yeah, might as well come in and get the car running again.
Yeah, get a fresh set of tyres on. All you're doing is looking to bring home 20, but as you say, you're not going to lose any places. There's very little chance you're going to gain any places. Currently, yeah, a lap down on the leader as is, and a big old gap, but a place in the final is up for grabs.
Yeah, I'm thinking actually, of course, the first 7 positions. Let's see, because they will be 8th in the championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, so will Team 1FF and Team Shizu remain in the standings? I suppose it will.
Yeah, of course, but yeah, P8 they will have a playoff place. Yeah,
yeah.
So it's still very fun for them to be able to, have a shot at that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. The GT4 playoff, of course, that one's in October. There's going to be 33 cars taking part in that. 33 teams, sorry. The top 3 teams from that competition will get themselves a GT4 car, of course, in the finals. So yeah, definitely worth fighting for. Verstappen and Busek. Are they battling? Are they following one another? Are they getting some practice in the slipstream? Who knows? I do know Verstappen is very, 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 very quick in a GT4 car. Not that he's a slouch in a 3, as we can see.
Yeah.
But drivers like himself and Nikolai Polyakov, yeah, very much looking for the GT4 spots in the final, I would think, given Verstappen's record. Yeah, just check out his record on SimGrid. He can drive a GT4 car. It's impressive stuff. And of course Nikolai Polyakov. So a lot of the teams, as you said, down on numbers for this race. There's been a lot of strategic chess playing. It's 4D chess. We're not just out on a 3D track. There's the teams actually moving pieces in the background as well to get the drivers and the cars that they want in, the places that they want in the final. Certainly Verstappen fighting for, I would think, one of the GT4 seats within his team. He's very, very good. So yeah, maybe 4th place in a minute does suit him. Team not looking to push anything. I'm going to leave it on board, Daniel. Sorry, do you mind if I really need to take a very, very quick pit stop. I'll leave it on board with Christoph or Stefan. I'll be back momentarily, mate, yeah?
Yes, sure. No problem.
Perfect. Bye in a moment.
Yeah, just doing a bit of math in the background as well. So, as I say, I'm not the greatest at that, especially head calculations. So let's see what comes out. But I'm sure that by the end of the race, we'll have some, well, not final results, of course. There could still be reports coming in, but yeah, we haven't seen a lot of bad racing this event. So I'm sure there won't be a lot of post-race reporting done. So still looking at Verstappen, well, keeping close to the check. But, these guys are not taking any silly risks here, of course. Let's look at McCoffin. The gap now almost 36 seconds between pre-check in number 2 and McCoffin, who's in P1. So, what a job there. Their best lap time was 1:58.6. See there. The last lap time was 1:59.3. So yeah, they're sort of relaxing, but at the same time still doing amazing lap times, as you would expect. Looking at the pre-check, his best lap time was 1:59.8. So McCoffin, yeah, let's say McCoffin last lap time was 1:59.3, which again sort of is his way of relaxing. The best lap time of pre-check was 1:59.8. So that's still, their best lap time was still not as quick as McCoffin's relaxed lap time, if I can say that. So yeah, 6 or 7 car absolutely deserves their place in the grand finals. And yeah, as we're waiting for John to come back from his small break, I just want to say that yeah, we've been so incredibly happy to organize this event. And especially huge shout out to Menno, of course. He really is the beating heart of DC-SimRacing, especially when it comes to the ACC for PC part. So yeah, it's amazing. Well, just look at how things went today. He asked me to sort of, well, get things prepared for him to do his magic. But it's great that he can jump into the car or do his own race in his car and then get out and get his community rolling as well. So yeah, I'm happy to assist him wherever I can. But he's really, of course, the big force behind DC-SimRacing right now, as the ACC PC part remains, and of course. Yeah, also a shout out to the drivers who were so flexible to allow us to change the format at the last moment. Ooh, yes, we see food check, almost lost it there, but was able to save it. But definitely under pressure here still from Verstappen. So this little inter-team battle definitely isn't over yet. But still. Yeah, so Buchek just almost losing it there, but it was a really nice save. So yeah, welcome back, John. Just doing a bit of shout outs to Menno, of course the drivers, for being as flexible as they were today. Yeah, I was discussing with John before the race that 4 hours of doing commentary with 6 cars, of course it's not enjoyable for you, but it would be pretty much hell for us as well, because at some point you just don't know what to talk about anymore. So yeah, it's great that you guys were so flexible, and yeah, thanks to everyone who participated in this championship. Of course, it's not over yet; still 60 minutes, a bit more than 60 minutes to go. So just talking about it like we're already done, we're not. But yeah, just wanted to take the final moments of this race to thank everyone who was involved. and especially thanks to SimGrid and Coach Dave for sponsoring us in this event, and Visio, of course, for allowing us to host this championship. We would have loved every race to be as well attended as the first one, but yeah, there you go. That's just the way it goes. Well, we'll give feedback to the guys who allowed us to host this championship, and yeah, it's up to them to see what they can and want to do with that. So, oh, yikes! So that's basically that battle done. Oh yeah. Ooh. Exactly. Absolutely, yeah. That's another big part of their skill set, probably, just to minimize damage and keep going again, because the gap is now not even 3 seconds. Of course, I think with a little more than 14 minutes to go, the battle between these guys is probably realistically over. But yeah, still to be able to save that and keep going, that's still a good skill to have. Mm. John, it seems Menno says that. Well, it seems Menno says that you're not. Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got some backups in case. Yeah, I don't want my pit stops accidentally coming over the microphone, so I've got some backup audio safety switches, and it looks like I forgot to put the other one back on. My apologies. Menno, I was saying loads and loads of nice things about just you, Menno. That's what it was. So yeah, you missed it all, but yeah, it was all very nice stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hope I still have it on record here somewhere. I'll just play it to Menno.
Excellent, good lad. But no, the gist of what I was saying was, Verstappen, any part of this track, you put two wheels on the grass, you're going to be in trouble. Perfectly highlighted by the fact that Verstappen put half his wheels on the grass, half his wheels, and yeah, 2.8 seconds he's lost. And Daniel was talking about the race being all but over with 40 minutes to go, and it absolutely is up at the front. Leonard McCovkin and the gang, they've absolutely checked out. Just on a 2-minute 0.8, he is only human after all. Yep. Maybe he was who the Ragman song was written about. He is human after all. That's a lap time I can aspire to one day. 2-minute 0.8. I only need to find 2 seconds. Yeah, just over the 2 minute mark. Sorry, say that again.
We can all dream.
Indeed we can. We all need a dream.
Exactly.
Just need to give myself a long coat and call myself Joseph, because there's more chance of that happening than me going sub 2 minutes around here, I'll tell you. But yeah, McCoff getting in the Lambo, the Crazy Fly Racing team, a very well deserved championship win, and they are going to win it on the results of the season. 9th in race 1, but they certainly turned it around in the latter half, and they have trended upwards with a 5th, a 4th, and of course a race win last time out. They bring this home. They will be the only team in the championship to bring home 2 race wins. So again, despite the diminished field, this is a very well deserved win for Crazy Fly and the team. They are now 44 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and he's just done a 1 minute 59.8 again. So he's obviously heard me talk about human times, and decided we'll have no more of that crazy talk. This is a fast track for fast drivers. We'll have no slow commentators here. And yeah, 59.8, so going back under the 2 minutes. Busek, 2 minute 0.5. Pitsick, 2 minute 1. And Verstappen, 2 minute 0.6. So it just goes to show you, really are head and shoulders above the field at the minute. Michael Mazur has got the head down, got the job done. Him and his teammate Jeremy Badova were in the fight for podium positions early doors. Found themselves dropping back to 7 seconds behind the lead group. Still within that 7 seconds, or 6.5 seconds with C. Mazur behind Verstappen. And of course Michael Jeffrey Koch out for the Team Drinkers Pub. Great race for them so far. They have had an extra trip into the pits after a bit of a misjudgment on the way out at 130R, but they are going to get their place in the final. Good to see the Ferraris still being represented, Daniel.
Menno says you have a lovely voice.
Oh, Menno, thank you very much. I'll send you that check.
He never says that about me.
It's implied with you, Daniel, though. You know what I'm saying? That's why.
I know he loves me.
He does indeed. What would he do without you?
He would have to find someone else. He would have to find some other idiot.
I'm not sure which joke to go with now. Yeah, right, I'm probably going to leave both of them alone.
Yeah, well, we already paid you, so...
This is true. Actually, yeah, let me fill my bit off.
There might be still more work for you in the future, but that really depends on the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, I can completely understand that. Oh, he's crucified me. That's very good. That's very good. Well, we're in the closing stages as well, actually. Let's bring up something else that is unbelievably important. It is the return of a legend. Oh, yes. The race for wishes. Get your calendars set. 2nd, 3rd of December. Massive grid at Spa. Oh, yes. Spa. 24 hours of racing, lots of racers on track. Ravencoms will be covering as much of the broadcasting as we possibly can. We'll be jumping straight on board. We don't get paid for that, by the way. We don't take money for charity work, just in case anybody, because obviously Daniel mentioned the whole pay thing there. No payment. Any payments that DC want to make the way the broadcasting will be given straight to the charity on our behalf. So, yeah, please don't think I'm trying to profit from charitable enterprises. But your teams could profit from the charitable enterprises, because there is a race to win, a pay to win function. That's right, you can apply BOP and ballast to the other teams in the race. So if you're taking part and you want to win, get saving up those pennies. Make sure you've got plenty of money to put ballast on the rest of the teams, and you could find yourself with a 24-hour Spa race win on your sim racing resume. Yeah.
Can you say that again? Sim racing resume?
Yeah, right, so payment or not, Daniel, here it comes, I'm looking. So.
Yeah, no, lovely that you're on board with us for that event, and I think that will fit you like a glove. And I'm really looking forward to do commentary there together with you and your team. And
if there is enough donations as well, I will be on camera in a red panda onesie.
Lovely.
Okay.
We've got that to look forward to as well.
It has a tail.
Get
the
your
onesie
wallets
has
out.
a tail. There's ears. It's got a tail. Okay. There's a red panda onesie. There's a Scottish hyperactive commentator with headsets. Get those pennies saved up.
Yeah.
You can put ballast on the competitors, and you can bring barminess to the commentators. What more could you want to start your Christmas period? I guarantee you'll feel a whole lot better inside taking part.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Again, Daniel, looking forward to it. You'll be on track as well, won't you? For some of it, and you'll be joining me in the comedy box for bits as well.
Well, I tried to join last year. That didn't go too well. I'm thinking I'm probably focusing on. There's so much organizing to do, and I really want to help Menno, who's probably is racing himself. But Menno is much better to have on track than my person. So I'll probably not be doing all that much racing myself this year. But I don't mind. I absolutely don't mind. I love doing commentary. Be it solo, but especially with you guys. So that's it's going to be a lot of fun. I really look forward to it. And,
actually, I wonder if I could enter a team and drive as well. Yeah, let me speak to the gang.
Why not?
Let me speak to the gang. Some of them have been talking about getting back into ACC and doing endurance races. Yeah, let me see what I can come up with. You know what?
Nice.
Yeah, I may get on track for a couple of stints, because I've done that before for a charity race. I commentated the whole thing in a band of ones. Took part in the race as well. It was an 8-hour race. I did a stint behind the wheel, whole thing on camera.
Nice.
I mean, the driving wasn't.
Was it worse than it usually is?
I was a mess. I'd done 6 hours, and honestly, the Panda onesie is warm. I'm not going to lie. It is a cosy piece of attire. So by the time I got in the car, I was already pretty broken. Did an hour. Hung on. It was Kailami. I made it to the end of one stint. I was due to do 2, but the team were like, no, you're fine. I was like, okay, sorry, I'm a bit off the pace. Yeah, I'll jump back behind the microphone, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could drive half as quickly as I could talk, I would spend a lot more time driving, that's for sure. But at the moment it is Mercar coming into the closing stages. We've got 3.5 minutes left to go, and it has been the Crazy Fly Racing Team show. Let's call it like it is, from quali right through the race. Absolute domination. The rest of the field, from 2nd through to 5th in quali, I believe we're only separated by about 7/10. Makovkin and his teammate, 7/10 at one point in qualifying ahead. The other teams did close in when the track hit optimum, and they got to within 0.4 of a second. Little to no consolation in the race though, as Makovkin's teammate hit the ground running. Bogoroditsky very quickly got himself a 3.5, 7, 21 second gap over the rest of the field, came into the pits, gave the car to Leonid Makovkin, and he is quite simply running a different kind of race at the minute. Ollie Pitstick just coming through the Casio triangle. Makovkin already through the anti-banked curves. Another 2 minute dead lap, 2:00.052. The consistency, I'm sure, would be a lot higher at this stage if he wasn't taking it just that little bit easy, although that doesn't very much look like easy, and it's still, again, 2 seconds quicker than I can go around this track.
Yeah. Pretty,
so it really is relative. It is incredible. We are on lap number 44. We'll jump on board with Makovkin again. The race leader hasn't had much camera time. The RCI team keeping most of that with the battle between Busek and Verstappen and their teammates beforehand, Haleman and Larenk, of course. Bedova at one point was involved in that battle as well, but him and his team, as I said, dropped back to about 7 seconds, and they have stayed there, which is good times for them. They've again lapping in the 1:59, slow 2 minutes, and they've kept that gap to the cars ahead at 6 now, although just as I say that, Verstappen finds 2 tenths on his teammate, and Mazur behind, but certainly nowhere, not at any point in time out of their depth. And again, in these conditions, could just be taking it easy to get to the end of the race, knowing that the place in the final awaits them as soon as they see the checkered flag. And with only 6 cars as well, there's got to be surely a Tim Cook joke about waving the checkered flag. Everyone get the Tim Cook reference? Yep, all get the Tim Cook reference. Yep.
No. Just go for it, John.
Okay, so Tim Cook at the Formula 1, he's the head of Apple or something, and he got to wave the checkered flag at the end of a Formula 1 race, and he could not have looked more bored.
Oh.
He genuinely looked like it was the biggest chore ever. It's like someone said, there's a pile of chocolate cake over there, you've got to go and do dishes first. So it's a face you put on, I genuinely could not have looked less enthused about the cars coming across the line. It was Tim Cook, what a guy. Let's hear it for the geeks though. They brought us Apple, they brought us online racing, and they brought us all these computers, but there is going to be, I'm sure, a big cheer goes up in the garage for the Crazy Fly Racing team. Again, that last lap, a 2 minute, another second and a half up on the rest of the competitors. It's been absolutely precision stuff, lap after lap after lap. Barely had an off track. Looking through the incident lists on the telemetry data there, the wheels have very rarely been any place other than between the mayo and the mustard. And as Daniel pointed out as well, our expert pit reporter, they even managed to clock the fastest pit stop by a second. Competition, thy name is Crazy Fly Racing. Through 130R, we've seen difficulties for several of the drivers on the exit to Casio Triangle, putting the wheels in the wrong place. No such woes for the Lamborghinis. For the Lamborghini, it's been 45 absolutely precision laps from the team, and they will bring home the double points. They'll bring home the race win, and they will be crowned champions of the road to the final, the road to the grand finals, the Dutch way. The flag furiously being waved as we wait 45 seconds for the rest of the competitors to come across the line. Daniel, to say that Leonid Makovkid and his teammate deserve a place in the grand final, I mean, I'm going to tout them to do really well in the grand final. Incredible race they've run, an incredible series. Only team to get back-to-back, only team to get 2 wins as well.
Yeah, they very much belong in that competition, so congratulations to them. Of course, if my calculations are correct, and they could very well be wrong, but they have 270 points, so they're winning with that. So we look at the, let me see, Team Ballas Ukraine, and I think they, again, if my, a small touch there between the RCI team cars there. They coming in second and third in the championship with 246 and 240 points respectively. And Team Belarus Ukraine, who finished second here today, they have 203 points, and that's the fourth position in the championship. So that's very nice. Race Esport team, I think they're fifth today. Yeah, they have 182 points. In front of them, there's Team 1FF, not with us today, but that's position 4 and 5 in the championship. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's a GT4.
Team 1FF have already got a place in the in the final. You can only have 2 cars, so I don't think their place. I think their place from this competition is going to go to someone else.
Interesting.
Because you're only allowed two cars per team in the final, one in the GT3 and one in the GT4. And if they've already got 2 cars through, which I believe they do, because I know they're racing in another competition I'm presiding over, hard to believe. But yes, so I genuinely think that place is going to go to someone else. So I think, I think there's still keep an eye on the SimGrid website, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. I do see Team Drinkers Pop, they now have 107 points, again with a huge disclaimer that my math is absolutely terrible, but that puts them in P8, so playoff position. So I hope I'm not making them happy with that. I don't know what a mush is in English, but just a little Dutch proverb there. But I tried to translate. Yes, you do.
Consolation prize? No.
No. Yeah, you know that feeling if you make people happy with something that's not actually. Yeah. I'm gonna have to run this by you off stream, John, because that's not gonna work. Absolutely not.
No.
I'm thinking about let's say I make people happy with a dead sparrow, and I know that a mush is not a sparrow, but yeah, that's sort of the proverb. So
right, okay, I think
that's good to know for you, but. Plenty of useless information going around. John, I have to thank you for doing this broadcast with me. That's the final thing I want to say before we wrap things up here. Yeah, it's been such a blast and excellent commentary, of course, from your side. So yeah, huge fun, and I hope. Well, I know that you're going to join us for the race for wishes. So, yeah, exactly.
Good luck.
So that's great to have you with us for that. But yeah, I also hope that we can work together again for other championships in the future. So yeah, a big thank you to you.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. As you and I alluded to at the start, it's been great to work with fellow professionals within the sim racing space. So yeah, well, and there's the rain. All season, these races have been defined by the rain.
Nice.
And it appears in the practice session. The drivers are sat in the pits, smiling even more now, I can assure you.
Yeah.
And just a big shout out again to RCI. They did go for the photo finish, and it did put Verstappen 1,000th ahead of his teammate as had a little door bang across the line. So yeah, we'll look for the standings on that. But yeah, congratulations to all the drivers that made it to the end of the series. What a series it's been. Zandvoort with Daniel's expert pronunciations of those corner names. Imola, no, that's it. Bocht. We all need a good Bocht in our life, I can assure you. We've had Imola, we've had Zolder, Watkins Glen, and then Suzuka. Slightly reduced race, but no less reduction on the prizes up for grabs. It's places in the VCO SimGrid finals that the drivers and teams were vying for, and that's now been decided. Jump onto the SimGrid website. Make sure you jump into Discord as well and give DC a follow. Keep up to date with all their broadcasts and get involved in the racing as well. Massive thank you to Menno and for Daniel for getting me involved in this. It's been, as I say, an absolute pleasure to take part in. We will leave you with some of the highlights from the race, but remember, make sure you get that calendar set for the race for Wishes. The legend returns 2nd and 3rd of December, 24 hours at everyone's favourite spa, and there's even talk of a Scotsman in a panda onesie leading us through the proceedings. What more could you possibly want to start your Christmas holidays, apart from maybe therapy afterwards? But we'll see how that goes. Just everyone that's been in the chat as well, Daniel Thiel and Michael Jeff and Menno, of course. And yeah, congrats to Menno and the gang for getting everything sorted, all the servers, getting them up and running and adjusting the race. It's been beautiful to see such a well-oiled machine getting the job done. That is all from me. As I say, I'll leave you with the highlights from this race. Make sure you go back onto YouTube and watch the opening rounds as well. Definitely worth the watch. I guarantee it's time well spent. I am off for an earlier than planned pizza, which is not always a bad thing. But until then, we'll have a good night and a thank you from Daniel.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
And it is a thank you and a good afternoon from me. Stay safe, take it easy, and have a phenomenal rest of your weekend. And remember, as a racing guru of mine once told me, keep it clean on the track, dirty in the sack, and you'll always be smiling. Until next time, take it easy, stay safe, have a great rest of your weekend. Good night.